Worry does not have permission to take up real estate in your body. Worry is chased by solution and strategy.
That's the biggest single thing that you're missing, momentum.
That's when I knew that this is what I wanted to do with my life.
Rise and shine?
Entspresso time.
No, it's Entspresso time.
It's Entspresso time.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and every morning I bring you a shot of Entspresso to help you believe in yourself more and start your day with confidence. So good morning, I believe in you, and let's do this. Over to you, Lisa Nichols.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
My coach, Susie Carter, first shared this with me, that Joan Baez says the antidote for despair is action. So I said, how can I be in action? I was always looking to be in action. What else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? And then I go learn. What else can I do? So to me, there's a very short line between learning and doing.
Yes.
And if you haven't done anything what you learn, why are you getting more education? You haven't even applied what you, like I'm a hell of a coach now.
It's like people who read a book and they don't go apply it, they just want to read the next book.
Right. Hi. The book I read when I was in my deepest, darkest hour, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, changed my life because I got into radical action behind it. I was like, oh, Stephen Covey talks about attending your own funeral, doing a visionary session where you attend your own funeral, and there are 4 people to speak. What will those 4 people say about you? What kind of brother were you? What kind of friend were you? What kind of social change agent were you? What kind of neighbor were you? Man, when I did that exercise, I was like, oh, I'm a nice person, but I'm not getting they're not saying the things about me that I want to be said.
Right, yes.
I'm writing my eulogy right now, Omar. I'm writing my eulogy. I'm writing my legacy. I'm not just living for now. I'm living for the 40 years from now story being told about me. I'm living for my grandchildren's story about who great-great-great-grandma was. And when you live for a lifetime, not just your life cycle, but a lifetime, you live for the legacy. I'm writing my legacy now. You won't sweat the small stuff anymore. You won't get caught up in gossip. You won't get caught up in living inside worry. You might worry, but worry does not have permission to take up real estate in your body. Worry is chased by solution and strategy.
Yes, by action, yeah.
And I always tell people, listen, I'll have every emotion like everyone else. I'll have fear, I have doubt, I have judgment, but you cannot take up real estate in my body. There's no lease options to buy in my mind. Don't lease option buy in my mind, and don't take up real estate. I got things to do. I got changes to make, and I'm not a superhero. I'm not. I'm an ordinary woman. I'm an ordinary woman who chooses every day to make one more extraordinary decision.
The secret to taking radical action is to not judge yourself for the imperfect action that you're taking. This is the problem that so many entrepreneurs have, is you have great ideas. You have these moments of inspiration where a great idea comes to you. And it's like, I could do that. And it's heartfelt and it's purpose driven and you want to have an impact and it's of service to your community. It's going to help your family. It's good. Right? You're good. You got great ideas that can then spread more good. And you're ready to take radical action. The problem is you're worried that your first step is not going to be perfect. The problem is you don't know how to tie the pieces together between where you're at right now and where your dream is. The problem is you have this perfect vision for what the world could be and what the company you could create is like and the life that you want. You've got your vision board of your house and your car and your family and the beachfront property and all the things that you want in your life. And great. The problem is you don't know how to tie it together. You don't know how to go from where you're at right now to where you want to be. That's a crystal clear plan in the future, but you don't have a crystal clear plan for what to do next. And that's the problem. Because you want the next step to be perfect. And newsflash, there is no perfect. The biggest problem is you're just not actually taking the imperfect action. You're judging yourself for the steps that you're taking instead of just taking the steps. Meanwhile, what happens is dummies, people with less intelligence than you, people with less resources than you, people with less of a heart to do good than you are off winning off the same idea that you have just because they started. Just because they're not afraid to just go and create something, just because they're not judging themselves for the imperfect action and they just got started. That's the biggest single thing that you're missing. Momentum. Momentum towards a radical action. So I have a thing called the 2% difference. And if you apply this, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. It'll change how you act. It'll change how you respond. It'll change the results that you get in your life. It will dramatically change your life. The 2% difference looks like this. As soon as you get an idea, find the first 2% to take action on it immediately. What do most people do? When you get an idea, when you get a moment of boldness, right? You've had these moments of boldness, moments of greatness, moments of I can do anything. Maybe that's because you were at some event or you read a book or you watched a video or you just woke up feeling great today. You know, we've had these moments of boldness and say, I want to create this. What do we do next? What's the next step that most people do? What's the next step? Planning. Most people default to planning. You research, you're planning, you're strategizing. Ooh, it's so exciting. It's so tasty. It's so delicious to plan about where we could go and what we could do. And then you wake up the next day after you made parts of your perfect plan. And then you start telling yourself, I can't do that. That's way too, what was I thinking yesterday? I can't do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. I don't have the connections. I don't have the education. I don't have the family. I'm not from the right country. All of these reasons. And so then the project is dead. You know, those dream projects you created are now not possible anymore. They were possible yesterday when you were feeling bold and alive and powerful, but today they're not possible. What happened? What's the difference? The difference is you spent all your positive energy, your bold, confident energy on planning instead of doing. You spent all your time planning to get to 100%, where what you really need to do is apply the 2% difference, which is just take immediate action on the first 2%. What's the first 2%? And don't worry about which 2%, right? There's no perfect first step. There's no perfect first 2%. The perfect thing is just to start, to create, to make. So you want to start a YouTube channel. Awesome. Make a video today. How long have people waited, sat? I know people who are watching us right now. You've had in your head, I want to start a YouTube channel for a long time. And you're worried about what camera you're going to use and what microphone you're going to use and what are you going to say and who you're going to talk to and what's your intro going to be. And you don't know editing and you don't have anybody who can teach you all of these reasons and excuses. But meanwhile, you're just scared. You're scared of it not being perfect. You're scared of imperfect action, where the greatest thing that you can teach yourself right now is to just make a video. And how do you do it? You pull out your phone. I'm filming this on my phone. You pull out your phone. Look, I'll show you. Look, I'll show you. This is my phone. Let me see. Can I look? Can we load the mirror? Oh no, you can't. Can we see it here? Hold on. Can we see it in the mirror? How about there? No, maybe not. No? Can we see? Wait, what? No? Okay. Well, you can't see it. Oh, how about the side view mirror? Can you see it in the side view? I don't know. Can you guys see that? Maybe. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. Imperfect action. We keep going. You pull out your phone. You want to make a YouTube video? You pull out your phone. You think about what you want to create. And I don't want you spending, an hour with your eyes closed thinking about what you want to create. You pull out your phone, you take 5 seconds, you take a deep breath, you open your eyes, and you just speak. And here's an example. I pull out my phone, right? I'm going to say, hey, I wanted to start a YouTube video for 5 years. And I've kept telling myself that I want to do it. And I've always been afraid because I didn't know what to say. And I don't know anything about YouTube. And I don't know anything about camera or microphones or anything else. And even this, I'm super nervous. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. But I want to make a channel that shares my story and that helps other people who are currently like me, who are struggling with the thing that I struggled with, because I want to serve, I want to help. And I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to share some of the things that work for me. And I'm going to make a ton of mistakes along the way. And I'm going to say a lot. And I might cry. And, I don't even know what I'm going to do. But I'm going to start because I need to tell myself and show you that I take action on things. So I hope you like this video. And I'll see you in the next one, right? Post. Great. Post. Next. Was it perfect? No. Did it, if you wrote a script for 4 hours and you read it, would it have been better words? For sure. That's not the point. Post. Create. Build momentum. The perfect plan that you think is perfect anyway isn't perfect. Your perfect plan is not actually perfect, right? I lost a $40 million deal when I was 22 because I was trying to be perfect. I'm a recovering perfectionist myself. And it's really just fear of judgment. It's really just fear of making the wrong move. we're not actually afraid of making mistakes. We're afraid of making mistakes and who's going to see us. We're afraid of making mistakes and somebody's going to make a comment on that video or somebody's going to laugh at us, right? You'll sing in your shower, but you won't sing on the street corner. Why? Because you're afraid of other people's judgment. And that's not a good enough reason for you not to take action. And we'll hide under this label of perfectionist, and we see that as a positive because you want to make everything great. But perfectionist really is you being afraid of other people's judgment of you being seen as less than perfect. And that's not your message. What's your message to the world? Is your message never create anything until it's perfect? Is the message that you want to leave to your kids or your grandkids is going to be, don't ever chase anything down unless it's perfect? That's not your message, but that's what you're living. That's what too many people are living because you're afraid to just take the action. And so you need to start living your actual message and create. So that's the 2% difference. Trust your bold ideas. Trust that because it came to you, it's a good idea. Don't let your head get in the way. Don't let your head get in the way of you not chasing down your dreams, right? When you're feeling bold, confident, powerful, alive, you have these moments of inspiration. Trust that the ideas that come to you when you're feeling like that are actually the best things for you, and then your head talks you down from going off and achieving them. So the best thing you can do is not judge your idea, not tell yourself why you can't do it. The fact that it came to you means it's a great idea, and you're going to do something about it right now, today, the first 2%. Now, don't go off and mortgage your home. Don't go off and take a giant loan out, on your business. Don't go out and do something crazy. It's just momentum that's missing. You can always find a smaller way to get started. It's the application of your energy towards something that matters. Book a call with somebody, create that first piece of content, send that email off to somebody, involve somebody else in the process that then holds you accountable. If you have this idea that you want to create this business with somebody, I did this myself. I wanted to create a business with Jeremy. I'm driving through the desert in Texas last year on my tour, and I was thinking in my head for some reason, I'm going to start a YouTube consulting business with Jeremy. Jeremy at the time was a grocery store worker in a Toronto grocery store, and he hated his job. He hated his life, what he was doing there. He asked me if he could walk my dog or wash my car or do anything to help me. And I don't need somebody to wash my car or walk my dog. And for whatever reason, a couple months later, as I'm driving through the desert in Texas, I'm going to start a YouTube consulting business with Jeremy. Nina. I'm driving. Nina's been driving here. She left as I started making this video. But, I'm turning to my side and saying, Nina, we need to get Jeremy on a call right now. We need to get Jeremy on a call right now because I want to do business with him. It has to be right now, like not tomorrow, but tomorrow I'll be a different person again. Tomorrow I'll fall back down. Tomorrow I won't be in the same mindset. This energy has to continue right now. When you're in that flow state, you have to do as much as you can to stay in that flow state as possible. We need Jeremy on a call right now. And it took her maybe half an hour to get a hold of him, and he was on his break or something from his work at the grocery store. And we got on a call and he said, yep, I want to do it. And I gave him homework for what to do. And when I got back from my trip, from my tour, we started building the business. And 1 year in the business, he started making 6 figures. In his last month, he made more in 1 month than the entire year of being at the grocery store. And now he's pushing numbers that he's never seen before and didn't think was ever possible. All within now a year and a half of me calling him from the desert, right? And so logically, it doesn't make any sense. Logically, I'm on my tour. I'm not going to start this business. Jeremy doesn't know anything about YouTube. Like all of these reasons why it shouldn't work out. But you trust the idea. That idea came to you for a reason. Trust the idea instead of judging it, because your judgment is slowing your progress. Your judgment is slowing the momentum. Other people's judgment that you share your idea with is slowing your momentum. Trust that it's a good idea. And then take the first 2%. For Jeremy, it was calling him. Jeremy, I want to start this business with you. Then tomorrow, if I wake up and I don't feel as motivated anymore, or I think that that's too big an idea or too crazy, I'm going to take this grocery store clerk and turn him into a YouTube expert. I already made the commitment to him. Now I got to follow through, right? That's the advantage of the 2% difference. Because if I planned to get to 100%, I wouldn't have done it tomorrow. But because I called him, I took the first 2%. And it wasn't the perfect pitch, and it wasn't the perfect explanation of what I wanted, but it was just an idea in my head, and I took the immediate 2% action that now I had to follow through because I committed to somebody else too. And now he's built a massively successful business for him compared to what life he was living before. And super awesome for me too to be a part of that success and feel the pride of mentorship and see him happy and changing lives to what he loves doing now too. So the secret of taking that radical action is not judging yourself for taking imperfect action. And whenever you get that idea, trust that it's amazing and take the first 2% difference. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I wanna know what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and how are you going to take action on that this week when you watch something, get motivated, and then create a plan of action to say when, how, and where you're gonna take action. You have an over 90% chance of following through versus just a 35% chance if you get motivated by watching a video but never create your plan. So I want you to get some results. I want you to write down below what your plan of action is, your biggest takeaway, and what your plan of action is. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you. Also, if you want to have unstoppable confidence, I've created my 254 program where it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to build a habit. My 254 series is absolutely free. Will help you build the confidence that you need, and the link to join is in the description below.
We validate who we are by what we're doing for other people. So many times I get the question, how do I prevent failure? And I'd love for you to spend that same energy going, how could I ensure that I soar? Cognitive dissonance is when you have literally thought about a version of yourself that you're not currently living right now.
Many ideas that people have are never actually acted on. When you first came up with the idea for Tom's, was this a big serendipitous moment for you? What was it like?
You know, it's funny. I get that question a lot, and people say, did your life change when you thought of Tom's, or when you had the idea? And is kind of romantic or noble as it would be to say yes. The truth is no. It was just an idea. I mean, I was running my other business at the time, and I had this idea: if I sell a pair of shoes, I can give a pair away, and it was just an idea. But when it became much more than an idea, and when my life really did change, was when I went on that first shoe drop. I took my parents, who had never left the United States before. I took my brother and sister. I took, my intern, Jonathan, some of my friends, and we went down there, 16 people who really didn't know each other very well. And we just got on our hands and knees and started putting shoes on kids' feet. And we didn't know what we were doing. I mean, we had the shoes made and we knew where the areas that kids needed them. But it was an unbelievable experience to see that just 6 months before that, it was just an idea. And this idea had got the attention of enough people to buy 10,000 pairs of shoes so that we were allowed to go there and give them away. And I'll never forget this one moment because it really was life-changing for me. We were leaving a village, and I was walking away, and this woman came up, and she was crying, and she was running after me, and she was speaking in Spanish, and my Spanish isn't very good, so I went and got my partner, Alejo, and he's Argentine. I said, Alejo, ask her, this woman, what's wrong? And she had these 3 boys with her, and they all had brand new Tom shoes on. And he said, in Spanish to her, and when she responded, she started to smile. And he was smiling as he was listening to her. So before he even told me the translation, I knew she wasn't crying because she was sad. She was crying because she was happy. But what she told Alejo and what he told me just blew me away. She explained that her 3 sons had been sharing a single pair of shoes for the past year. And what that meant was her oldest son would go to school on Monday. He would come home, give his shoes to his brother, and have to wait until Thursday to go to school again.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine? Like, I don't have kids, but I'm sure a lot of people in this room do. I mean, can you imagine if that was the case of your family, that your children had to wait a couple days to go to school because of a pair of shoes? And I had no idea, even when we started Tom's, that it was that much needed. But when that lady told Alejo and he told me, and we got very emotional and started crying, I mean, it was like this really amazing moment. But that's when I knew that, like, this is what I wanted to do with my life.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.